From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest, or welcome to Good Morning Northwest. If you're just joining us, right now you're taking a live look at Kennewick. This view coming courtesy of Yakima Federal. Seeing some thin clouds up in the skies for this morning. Should end up being a mostly sunny day, a very windy day as well. Now for right now, the wind's calm. That's not going to be the case as we progress throughout the day, especially after 2 p.m. Right now, temperatures in the 40s and 50s for lower elevations, 40s up in the Cascades and 50s in the Blues. So a lot of us would just need a light jacket for this morning. Here is your day planner forecast for today for lower elevations. Going to be 70s and 80s weather as soon as 11 this morning. And then we could touch 90 degrees in the Tri-Cities today at the peak of daytime heating. So here's the bottom line for the forecast. Multiple rounds of windy weather this week, including for today. Fire starts are certainly going to be possible. They'll be on the table. Thankfully, though, our high temperature is going to cool off throughout the week. We'll be about 15 to 20 degrees cooler on Saturday as opposed to today. Not just cooler into this weekend, but shower and thunderstorm chances going up, especially for Saturday. So I'll show you some of those chances coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, a car crashing near the Columbia River. Police say alcohol was to blame. The driver now facing charges this morning. We have the details.
Plus, a security scare on the tarmac as a flight from Seattle to Walla Walla ends with one person in custody. We have all the details coming up.
Plus, thousands took to the streets all across the country for the No Kings protest. We have why demonstrators say their message matters now more than ever.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Jade Elliott. It is Monday, June 16th, and of course, a lot to get to as always as we start this Monday, and we have some new details actually this morning on a midday flight from Seattle to Walla Walla that was brought to a sudden halt after a passenger reportedly made a direct threat to the safety of the aircraft.
And this happened around 1 p.m. on Saturday aboard Alaska Airlines Flight 2123. The flight was immediately met by local and federal law enforcement, including the FBI and Port of Seattle police, who detained one suspect, and that person's identity has not yet been released.
Yeah, as a result, the Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA, issuing a ground stop, closing 2 of the airport's 3 runways, only 1 remaining operational during that time.
At least 6 flights were canceled and 2 were diverted while authorities investigated the nature of the threat.
Alaska Airlines saying that safety, of course, is their top priority, and the situation was resolved without injuries. That flight finally did make it to Walla Walla.
Now, in this morning's crime alert, a suspected DUI crash sent officers to the banks of the Columbia River late Sunday night. Kennewick police responded just after 9 last night to a call in the 2700 block of Paul Parrish Drive. When officers got there, they found a Chevy Camaro off the roadway near the riverbank. Investigators say the driver, 21-year-old Shannon Norse, was under the influence and was arrested for DUI. Fortunately, no serious injuries were reported in that crash. And now out of Pierce County, where a woman accused in the death of her child has been arrested, and that's thanks to multi-agency efforts. Richland police say 26-year-old Carly Ely was taken into custody in the 1900 block of Jadwin Avenue after a tip came in from Kennewick police. She's now being held in the Benton County Jail on a warrant for first-degree manslaughter. Ely is wanted in connection to the death of her 15-month-old son, who, according to officials, died of a fentanyl overdose back on March 18th, and the case remains under investigation.
Well, deputies with the Benton County Sheriff's Office responded to a disturbance on East 305 PR Northeast, and what they found led to 2 arrests and a child being taken into protective custody. Now, when deputies arrived, 1 man was detained for malicious mischief, but while they were investigating, they learned that a woman had overdosed earlier that morning and had been revived with Narcan. A 7-year-old child was reportedly present during that time, and the child's father had also been found unconscious earlier, surrounded by narcotics and drug paraphernalia. Deputies made contact with the 2 adults, both living in the back of a disabled pickup truck with that child. During separate interviews, one admitted that they were both active drug users. Both adults were arrested for child endangerment with a controlled substance, and that child is now in protective custody.
And fentanyl continues to be a growing concern in the Tri-Cities.
Yeah, in Kennewick especially, police say they're seeing it more and more often. According to KPD, opioid use has been steadily increasing over the last few years, impacting a lot of people in the community struggling with addiction.
But one drug in particular stands out, and that's fentanyl. Officers say it often appears in the form of small blue pills, sometimes rainbow colored, with an M and 30 stamped onto it. There's also a powder form that's usually white.
One common place that it seems to be showing up more often, police say, is at city parks. That's why KPD has stepped up their nighttime patrols in those areas, and they're urging you that if you see anything that looks like fentanyl, do not touch it and call police immediately.
We do run into this a lot, right? Some people that will drop their narcotics by mistake and leave it in the general public for someone else to come across. So just be very aware. If you do see something that matches that type of description, give us a call immediately and we have a proper way to dispose of that.
KPD says all of their officers also carry Narcan just in case that they do need to respond to an overdose while out in the field.
Now, in a follow-up on a wind-driven fire in the Horse Heaven Hills area that had firefighters scrambling last week.
Yeah, as Dan Hansen shows us, though, the flames did threaten some homes, but teamwork and air support really helped make a difference in fighting this fire.
This helicopter is one of 2 water-dripping aircraft attacking the flames in the Badger Canyon area of the Horse Heaven Hills, where another wildfire has crews working around the clock. Multiple agencies on the ground battling an active natural cover fire that sparked near Badger Road and Bridge Private Road. With strong winds pushing flames fast, wildland teams had to move even faster.
We took a significant amount of effort to contain the Weber incident, is what we're calling it. We held it at 391 acres, primarily grass and brush again.
Structure protection units were positioned right away. Homes were threatened, but thanks to fast-acting crews, none were lost. 3 small outbuildings burned, and there was some damage to nearby shops, but all residents are safe. Nichols says crews monitored the fire overnight and are now in the mop-up stages. Firefighters spent part of their morning battling another brush fire off Mills Road. It scorched dozens of acres before crews could get to it. It started as 2 fires, but strong winds helped it grow into one larger burn. Benton County Fire District 1 Deputy Fire Chief Ryan Nichols says the location, away from homes, meant no evacuations were needed. But windy conditions continuing this week, crews are urging the public to stay safe.
If an individual sees something, please say something. The last thing that we want is a fire to start and continue to grow without being reported to the 911 system because an individual assumes that someone else called it in.
Nichols says they originally thought the fire to be 15 acres, but when they got there, they estimated the fire to be around 40 acres. Crews remained on the scene battling the fire, and no word on what caused it. It's still under investigation, and no injuries were reported. This is just the beginning of wildland fire season. Firefighters say if the wind keeps up, summer could be relentless. For now, they're asking everyone to steer clear of the area and let emergency crews work safely. Dan Hansen, Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, Dan. Now, looking ahead today, drivers in Walla Walla, listen to this before you hit the road for your morning commute.
Yeah, a series of street closures and some lane shifts are all set to start this week, and city crews are going to be carrying out maintenance and utility work. So today, Aritzia Avenue will be closed from Wildwood to Hatch Street, along with Kenwood Street from Myber Road to Drumheller. The work is expected to wrap up Wednesday. Vehicles must be removed off the street before work starts at 7 o'clock this morning.
Chase Street will also be closed today between Maple and Chestnut from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and that's for a water service replacement.
And then later this week on Wednesday, expect some lane shifts on Poplar Street from 8th to 9th Avenue. Crews are going to be replacing water service from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Outside travel lanes will also be closed.
And signs and detours will be posted to help keep that traffic moving.
Yeah, but if you do travel through the area, of course, just plan ahead. Give yourself a little extra time.
Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, the man accused of shooting 2 Minnesota lawmakers and their spouses, killing 2 and wounding 2 others, has been taken into custody, bringing an end to a massive search that put the entire state on edge. And now this morning, we have the details on the arrest and the community's reaction.
And giving you a beautiful live look outside this morning from our Yakima Federal camera here at the Apple Valley Studios in Kennewick. The sun is up, and Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will have your first alert forecast after the break as we make our way into this week. It is 8 minutes after 6.
You get in a car wreck and call the insurance company and get nowhere. Stop wasting your time. Just make one more call to 853-2222. They can't ignore my demand to pay you all the money you deserve.
Call 853-2222.
Meet the Moore family. They switched from cable internet to Ziply Fiber and got so much more. Mr. Moore got more upload speed for next level gaming and live streaming to the masses. Mason Moore got even more done for his sneaker business, quickly uploading HD product demos and video conferencing without freezing.
Brad, you're on mute.
And now that her family doesn't need her for tech support, Mrs. Moore has more time to stream games into overtime.
Let's go!
Get more of what you love by switching to Ziply Fiber for $65 less per month than cable at ziplyfiber.com.
It's the Click It RV Roll Into Summer sales event going on now at your local Click It RV store with huge manufacturer's discounts from Forest River, StarCraft, and more. Get $0 down, nothing, and no payments for 6 months. And get top dollar for your trade. And talk about giveaways. Win a StarCraft trailer or $30,000 in cash. You can beat the coming tariffs, but nobody beats a Click It RV deal. We guarantee it. So don't miss the Roll Into Summer sales event at your local Click It RV store. Spokane, Milton, Freewater, Moses Lake, and Union Gap.
Did you know Astria Health has the only team of neurosurgeons in the Lower Valley? Patients no longer need to travel long distances to receive the spine care they need. Patients with spinal tumors, stenosis, herniated or degenerative disc diseases, spine trauma, fractures, or spinal cord injury can be seen by an Astria neurosurgeon in Prosser, Sunnyside, or Zillah. Ask your primary care provider for a referral to one of our neurosurgeons. Astria Health, exceptional rural health care close to home.
For more than a decade, Farxiga has been trusted again and again and again. Ask your doctor about Farxiga.
Win and save with Lucky Number Tuesday at Buy-Mart. Just by matching your ending number, you can win Turtle Wax, Dash, and Glass Detailer. Plus, save with Tuesday-only pricing and buy it for $3.99. Win and save on Lucky Number Tuesday only at Buy-Mart.
You get in a car wreck and call the insurance company and get nowhere. Stop wasting your time. Just make one more call to 853-2222. They can't ignore my demand to pay you all the money you deserve.
Call 853-2222.
An amazing garden on Fly the Northwest, Tuesday at 6. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We do have a red flag warning that's in place for today for the Kittitas Valley, also for portions of the upper Yakima Valley. This runs from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. This has been issued by the National Weather Service Pendleton. Later in the show, we'll show you some of the wind gusts that could be a driving force behind that. Here's your CoCast for today for the Tri-Cities. Light jacket weather for this morning. Going to be into the mid-70s as soon as 10 and then maybe touching 90 at the peak of daytime heating. I think most lower elevation spots are going to be between 85 to 90. So that'll place us at about 5 to 10 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. Okay, sky is going to be mostly sunny to partly cloudy, but some of that could be some hazy sunshine, in particular in Morrow County. So we'll go ahead and show you futurecast wildfire smoke. We'll put this into motion around lunchtime. This model's starting to pick up on some of the smoke from the fire that's burning right there on the river by the Dalles. Winds out of the north and west, so that could bring some of the haze into Morrow County by 4 p.m., into Umatilla County by 8 p.m., and then pretty close to midnight, this will stream up into Walla Walla County. So that's just, that's for today. Then for tomorrow, it's going to be the exact same cycle, okay? Around lunchtime, the fire's starting to flare up again around the river. Winds out of the north and west, bringing haze first into Morrow, then to Umatilla, then into Walla Walla County. Now, what's this going to amount to? Probably just some hazy skies. I don't foresee any significant reductions to air quality, but of course, we'll keep a very close eye on that. And also, I'll show you the potential for additional fire starts with those winds for today and Wednesday. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks, Josh. It's 13 minutes after 6 now, and overnight, police arrested 57-year-old Vance Bolter for the murder of a top Minnesota lawmaker and her husband, and the attempted murder of a state senator and his wife.
And this morning, the community is reacting to the capture of the suspect for the shooting attacks that have put Minnesota on edge. And now questions are growing about possible motives behind the attack.
Yeah, Nicole D'Antonio is in Washington with the latest on the suspect and the memorial that is growing outside of the state capitol.
This morning, the manhunt for the suspect wanted in the shooting of 2 Minneapolis lawmakers and their spouses comes to an end. Overnight, police arresting Vance Bolter near his farm in Green Isle, southwest of Minneapolis. Police now calling this the largest manhunt in Minnesota state history. The search lasting nearly 2 days after the shootings happened.
That's 48 hours that law enforcement involved in a complex and dangerous manhunt. Spent Father's Day away from their families to deliver justice for Melissa and Mark Hortman and their children who spent this Father's Day alone.
Bolter is accused of killing former Minnesota House Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband, and in a separate incident shooting State Senator John Hoffman and his wife. The violence underscoring a troubling trend. Threats to elected officials are on the rise.
It's part of a troubling pattern. A wave of political violence that threatens the very foundation of this republic. And let me be clear, violence has no place in our politics.
Republican Majority Leader John Thune and House Speaker Mike Johnson have also both condemned the incident and all acts of political violence. ABC News has learned investigators found a vehicle of interest and personal items they believe belonged to Bolter, including writings and a list of potential targets they say the suspect left behind, including the names of many Democratic lawmakers and abortion rights advocates, along with addresses. So far, no motive has been released. Nationally, 43% of state lawmakers reported facing threats during their most recent term in office and the preceding campaign. Meanwhile, a makeshift memorial for Hortman and her husband continues to grow outside the state capitol in Minnesota. Visitors leaving flowers, signs, and American flags to honor the lives lost.
And as tensions are high, senators will receive a bipartisan security briefing when they return to work later today.
Governor Walz late Sunday also updated the condition of State Senator John Hoffman. Walz said that Hoffman was out of a final surgery and is now moving towards recovery.
Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth will be back with your first alert full weather forecast. That's coming up in just a few minutes, right after the break.
At Bruce Heating and Air, your comfort is our business. With over 30 years of professional HVAC experience for residential and commercial properties, you can rest assured your heating and air system is in good hands. In addition to providing quality heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and installation services, Bruce Heating and Air also houses a full-service sheet metal fabrication shop.
Now through June 30th, receive rebates up to $4,500 off on a new Daikin Fit system when you finance through Bruce Heating and Air.
From Apple Valley News Now, this is Medically Speaking.
My name is Lauren Martin. I started to work out at Hanford in 1982, and for 20 years I worked with the fleet, repairing cranes, locomotives, cars, ambulances, fire trucks, everything. After 20 years, then I came down with a disease. There are some very, very expensive drugs, and my copay on that is $0. All I have to do is pick up the phone and it's there.
So we'll definitely evaluate their past employment. As a registered nurse myself, I'll look through their medical records and I'll look to see maybe what medical conditions they have, and we'll be very upfront with them, honest about whether they do have a claim that could warrant benefits or not, and just kind of let them know what those next steps are, the timeline of how long it could take for them to get approved.
Now's the time for a great deal on a new Honda. It's time for a different kind of power. Plus, get incredible long-term value with the next generation of vehicles from the Kelley Blue Book Best Value brand. Right now, you can get a 2.49% APR on a 2025 Accord Hybrid.
a flight over some amazing flowers.
Modeled after formal European-style gardens.
Summer Gardens on Fly the Northwest.
There's not much like it in the Northwest.
Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
Next live.
He's one of our favorite sharks in the tank.
Damon John from Shark Tank.
I think we'd like to go with your offer.
Oh! Yeah. Plus, your AI questions answered.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
Register today. Register your team for $140. Ends midnight Tuesday, June 24th.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. The big weather story for today going to be the winds, especially in the Kittitas Valley, as they'll race out of the north and west around 50 miles per hour, peak gust that is, and the time frame would be 2 p.m. to 2 in the morning on Tuesday. Now keep in mind it could be breezy or windy before this, but that is going to be the worst of the worst. Otherwise, today going to be a mostly sunny to partly cloudy day. High temperatures about 5 to 10 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. 80s and 90s for lower elevations, 60s up in the Cascades, 60s and 70s for the Blues. Then for tonight, calmer winds after 2 a.m. Could have some haze like we were showing you a few minutes back, some haze downwind of that fire by the Dalles, streaming into Morrow, Umatilla, and Walla Walla counties, but should be pretty light haze, otherwise mostly clear skies, and overnight lows down into the 50s, mostly for lower elevations, 30s and 40s for the Cascades, and 40s for the Blues. We'll have more winds for Tuesday, peak time frame 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. This time the wind's not as impressive, so consider this a little break, because we're not going to have a break on Wednesday. 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. this time, once again, out of the north and west, peak gust around 50 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley, around 35 miles per hour in the Tri-City. So all that to say, we could have, again, more vegetation fires starting or spreading quickly for both Monday and Wednesday. We have vested interest in that. And the reason why winds are going to pick up is because we'll have a cold front that's going to pass. That'll drop our high temperatures down from Wednesday to Thursday. Then we have another one for Friday. That's going to make us even cooler into this weekend. So not just trending cooler into the weekend, but also trending wetter. We'll have a little shower chances for Friday, mostly up in the mountains, but then Saturday looking like it's going to be the big day in terms of shower and thunderstorm chances. The best thunderstorm chance is probably going to be in the Blue Mountains. And then for Sunday, a drier day as opposed to Saturday. So stay tuned for those shower chances as we still have another 6 to 7 days to tweak that forecast. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. A windy day on Wednesday that'll cool us off into Thursday, then even cooler and slightly wetter into the weekend. In Yakima, near 90 today, but struggling to make it out of the 60s by Saturday. What a switch up. And then in Ellensburg, strong winds today, Wednesday, and Friday. Thankfully, fire fuels could get some relief with rainfall possible this weekend. In Hermiston, also continuing with some stronger winds Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Decent rain chances Saturday, less so Sunday. And then for Walla Walla, 80s through Thursday, mid-70s on Friday. Then maybe dipping into the 60s this weekend with rain likely on Saturday.
Thanks, Josh. 6:21 still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Movie buffs better get your wallet out because an opportunity to own a piece of Hollywood history is here. Love the details on that, plus the latest developments in the Sean Diddy Combs case. It's all coming up next in your entertainment news.
Seattle-born stand-up comedian and impressionist Adam Ray, live at Legends Casino, Friday, July 11th. Known best for his Netflix special, Adam Ray is Dr. Phil Unleashed, as well as his popular YouTube channel.
If you don't know what Citizens App is, it's an app you can put on your phone that notifies you of all the danger that's lurking. That sounds like fun. Yeah, there's a lot of people cooking for Cocoa Puffs right outside your door.
Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com and Legends Gift Shop. Don't miss Adam Ray, live on July 11th at Legends Casino in Toppenish.
Looking for a new appliance but don't want to wait weeks for delivery? At Fred's Appliance, our Get It Today inventory makes sure you don't have to. Thanks to our fully stocked warehouses, we have a vast selection of appliances ready for you right now. From refrigerators to washing machines, ovens to dryers, you name it, we have it ready to go. No more waiting, no more delays, just the appliance you need when you need it. Fred's Appliance. If we advertise it, we've got it. Visit any of our showrooms and get your new appliance today.
Prosser Digestive Health Center offers the full spectrum of digestive health care. Services provided by board-certified gastroenterologist Dr. Jack Brandenburg include colon cancer screenings, treatment for swallowing problems, inflammatory bowel disease, liver disorders, and more.
To schedule an appointment, call Prosser Digestive Health Center at 509-786-5599 or learn more at prosserhealth.org. This is how we care.
In an instant, your world can shatter. At Quantum Legal, we understand injuries can be an immense burden, taking a toll on your body and leaving you drowning in medical expenses. Battling insurance companies without legal representation will make matters worse. We are committed to advocating for your deserved compensation. Quantum Legal, where compassion meets justice.
At Columbia Basin Oral and Maxillofacial Surgeons, your safety is our top priority. We are the only board-certified oral and maxillofacial surgery experts in wisdom tooth removal and dental implant placement in the Tri-Cities. With years of experience and a commitment to excellence, we ensure every patient receives safe, personalized treatment. Ask your dentist to refer you to the Tri-Cities experts in oral surgery, Columbia Basin Oral and Maxillofacial Surgeons. We look forward to meeting you.
An amazing garden on Fly the Northwest, Tuesday at 6.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In your entertainment headlines, rapper and business mogul Kanye West is supporting Sean Diddy Combs in court.
Yeah, it all comes after West had been allegedly in touch with Combs' son, Christian, about possibly attending the ongoing criminal trial in New York City. Ahead of the trial, he called for Combs' freedom.
Back in March, West released a song that featured a recorded phone call between himself and Combs from jail. Combs currently on trial in federal court for sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, and prostitution charges.
That is a bold outfit to be walking into court in all white, just like that.
Bold.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, now is your chance to have a piece of Hollywood history, as more than 400 items belonging to the influential director David Lynch are going up for auction.
Yeah, Lynch, who passed away in January, was known for his unique surrealistic films and TV shows, including Blue Velvet and Twin Peaks. Personal artifacts being auctioned include some props, fine art, and memorabilia.
Other items from his home will be included, like a vintage chenille sofa, a director's chair, and an espresso machine. The live auction for the David Lynch collection is set for June 18th from Julian's Auctions and Turner Classic Movies.
Winkies, was that like a menu, that last thing?
I wasn't sure what that was.
Must have been a menu from one of the movies.
Glance of it, yeah.
Cute little things, yeah.
I know, fun stuff. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up next, a Kennewick home up in flames over the weekend. What we know this morning in regards to the investigation.
Plus, many taking to the streets all across the country for the No Kings protest, and we hear from local demonstrators who say their message matters now more than ever. All that and more is coming up in your next half hour.
Our number one service here at NEU Women's Clinic and Aesthetics is our weight loss program. Our program is really focused on a lifestyle change. We want our patients to be able to lose around 10 to 15 pounds of weight loss a month is what we see. But when they're done with us on the program, we want them to be able to keep that weight off. We don't want to see them yo-yo.
So I've lost about 40 to 50 pounds, and that's been over the span of 3 to 4 months. At my peak, I think I was losing probably 10 pounds a week. It was quite a bit, and I just noticed it was falling off of me.
So we are proud to announce that we are releasing a virtual weight loss program. What makes our program so successful for both men and women is the fact that we are treating exactly the reason why you're gaining this weight in the first place. By addressing your insulin insensitivity, your hormone balancing, your lifestyle, treating everything. We really focus on you and your needs.
Now open in Yakima. Go to newuwomensclinic.com to start your weight loss journey today.
Summer's heating up. That means it's time to dive in. Pasco's Memorial Aquatic Park opens Saturday, June 14th. Get signed up for swim lessons. Grab your season passes and don't miss your chance to join the Pasco swim team. Looking to cool off? Open swim runs daily from 1 to 5:45 p.m. So grab the family and come make a splash. It's all happening at the Pasco Memorial Aquatic Park. Your summer fun starts here.
poor maintenance, old tires, bad brakes, that could be why the big truck hit you. At my law firm, we have a team that knows big truck wrecks. Big truck insurance companies know that we have the knowledge and experience to get you paid everything you deserve. Call the heavy hitter. When I call the insurance companies, they listen. Hit by a big truck, I know how to be their insurance companies. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter.
The heavy hitter is the one for you. Call 853-2222.
Okay, y'all, we got 10 orders coming in.
Starting a business is never easy, but starting at 8 months pregnant, that's a different story. I couldn't slow down.
We were starting a business from the ground up.
People were showing up left and right, and so did our business needs. The Chase e-card made it easy. When you go for something big like this, your kids see that, and they believe they can do the same.
Earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase with the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card from Chase for Business. Make more of what's yours.
Looking for a trusted professional to guide you through your real estate endeavors? Carrie Lundgren with River Realty is ready to guide you through the process. As a lifelong Tri-Cities resident with 35 years real estate experience, she has the knowledge, dedication, and enthusiasm to make your real estate dreams come true. Whether you are buying your first home, moving up or scaling back, or looking for an investment, she has got you covered. Call Carrie today at 509-948-0580 and start making your dreams a reality.
This newscast sponsored by Mariano Morales Law. This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good Monday morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us. Joining us here for Good Morning Northwest, I'm Jade Elliott.
I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
Cha-ching!
I
Cash
know.
with Colbert.
It just
jackpot, Josh.
keeps going.
What can I say, right? Let's go ahead and show you a 3-degree.
When he's right, he's right.
3-degree guarantee, sponsored by our good friends at the Legends Casino and Hotel. On Friday, I went with a forecast high of 84 in Pasco Tri-Cities. It verified at 82, so that was kind of a close call. Jackpot went up to 1150. So here are the stakes for today, going with a hotter forecast high of 91 in Pasco Tri-Cities. So if it verifies between 88 to 94, the jackpot's going to hit $1,175. If that doesn't happen, the jackpot could be yours. Find out how to win the jackpot by going to applevalley.newsnow.com, clicking on the contest page, or you could scan the QR code that's on your screen. Okay, now what's on your screen is a live look at Richland. This view also coming courtesy of our good friends at the Legends Casino and Hotel. Lots of green out there. There's eventually going to be a lot of blue up in the sky. Some thin level clouds for this morning. Also, the wind's going to pick up. That camera's going to be shaking a little bit later today, especially after 2 p.m. But for right now, the wind's mostly light. Of course, that'll change throughout the course of the day. Right now, temperatures in the 40s and 50s for lower elevations, 30s and 40s up in the Cascades, 40s and 50s up in the Blues. Most of us going to need a light jacket as you're headed out the front door this morning. Here's your hour-by-hour forecast for today for the Tri-Cities, mid-70s as soon as 10 this morning, then getting into the 80s and 90s at the peak of daytime heating. We'll end up being about 5 to 10 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year, so that means for lower elevations between 85 to 90. I'll take you on that zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast. Also, I'll show you just how dry the vegetation is out there. All that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks so much, Josh. We began this morning, this half hour rather, with a fire watch. Kennewick family escaping a dangerous house fire early Saturday morning. Their home a total loss.
Now, the call came in just before 4 a.m. from the 7100 block of West 6th Avenue. And when Kennewick police arrived, the house was fully engulfed in flames, and officers quickly began evacuating the nearby homes. And that's due to the risk of that flame or those flames spreading.
Firefighters got to the scene just minutes later and fought the intense fire for about a half hour before getting it under control. Everyone in that home was able to get out safely. Still unclear, though, if anyone was injured.
Crews remained on scene for several hours. The cause is under investigation. Now, as Josh has mentioned, the National Weather Service has issued a red flag warning for parts of central Washington. This includes the Kittitas Valley. The warning is in effect from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. today, and this comes as strong winds combined with very low humidity levels. Also, potential wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour and relative humidity dropping as low as 15%. These conditions can cause wildfires to ignite and spread rapidly, and officials are urging residents to remember that any open flame could become dangerous very quickly. Also, at this time, outdoor burning is not recommended.
Now to an update on a silver alert that was issued from Benton County just last week. This morning, family and friends breathing a sigh of relief after that missing man was found safe. Stephen Wadsworth had been reported missing after he was last seen Wednesday night. Detectives spent much of Thursday searching near Old Inland Empire Road and West Knox Road. His disappearance raised some concerns as he does have an underlying medical condition and also requires a walker, which had been left at home. Thankfully, authorities confirmed that Wadsworth has been found and is safe with his family.
Now, nationwide protests this weekend happened with demonstrations breaking out all across the U.S. under the banner of No Kings, focusing on immigration enforcement, also healthcare access and civil rights. Seattle police say tens of thousands gathered peacefully in that city alone, and the movement made its way to the Tri-Cities as an estimated 5,000 gathered in front of the mall on Columbia Center Boulevard. The event was organized by Indivisible Tri-Cities and included a variety of causes, from opposition to recent ICE activity in the area, also to concerns about potential cuts to healthcare coverage.
Now, taking a look at sports, DBAT Baseball and the Tri-City Dust Devils welcomed some special guests for an afternoon of baseball fun just before the weekend. Over 160 kids attended the free camp to brush up on all aspects of their baseball skills. They also had a chance to go to a Dust Devils game and take home a wiffle ball set. DBAT Columbia Basin Assistant General Manager Braden Henry says that the camp is a chance for kids to practice the sport alongside Dust Devils staff, people that they say the kids look up to.
I just love to see them develop. I mean, kids from year to year that come to either this camp or our summer camps, just hearing how much better they're getting from year to year, more opportunities that they're having with their own teams or in their little leagues. It's really fun to see kids grow as they get older.
Henry says DBAT is planning to continue its partnership with the Dust Devils and host the camp again next year. So if you missed camp, there is plenty more camps this summer.
Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, with the weather warming up, many are hoping to hit the water, but do you know how to do it safely? Well, coming up, our William Albert will have some summer safety tips that you don't want to miss.
And giving you a beautiful live look outside this morning from our Legends Casino and Hotel Sky Camera at Richlands Columbia Point. Speaking of water, the mighty Columbia this morning looking good. Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert will be back with your first alert forecast after the break at 6:35.
Operation Best Friend, sponsored by As You Wish Real Estate Services, Christine Connolly, Realtor.
If you have heart failure or chronic kidney disease, Farxiga can help you keep living life, because there are places you'd like to be. Serious side effects include increased ketones in blood or urine and bacterial infection between the anus and genitals, both which may be fatal. Severe allergic reactions, dehydration, urinary tract or genital yeast infections, and low blood sugar. Stop taking and tell your doctor right away if you have nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, tiredness, rash, swelling, trouble breathing or swallowing. Tell your doctor about lightheadedness, weakness, fever, pain, tenderness, redness or swelling between the anus and genitals. Ask your doctor about Farxiga today.
Farxiga. For 25 years, you've made Triple Play more than just a place to play. You've turned it into a place where memories are made. We want to thank our amazing guests and community. From birthday parties to company outings and spontaneous weekend adventures, your memories are what make Triple Play special. Here's to 25 years of fun and many more to come. Thank you for being part of our story.
Welcome to Nob Hill Casino in Yakima. Experience the thrill of our Vegas-style casino, featuring the friendliest dealers in town. Join our Players Club and earn exciting rewards. Enjoy games like Blackjack, Pai Gow, and High Card Flush. While you're here, don't forget to unwind with a drink at our cozy bar or enjoy a meal from our restaurant. Come discover Yakima's ultimate entertainment destination, Nob Hill Casino, where the locals play.
This summer, Dickerson's Tri-City Pianos is heating things up with incredible savings on every piano in our showroom. Take advantage of special bundles on our digital models. Enjoy savings on both new and used options. Get up to $10,000 off on select grand pianos. Enjoy 0% financing for 12 months, and every purchase includes free delivery in Tri-Cities. The hottest part, Our 2-day summer sale event happens June 26th and 27th only. Turn up the heat and visit Dickerson's Tri-City Pianos today.
Whether you're injured on the road or on the job, the big dogs at Brumback and Autumn will get you the full compensation. Leave nothing on the table. Brumback and Autumn, Bulldog Tough.
A flight over some amazing flowers.
Modeled after formal European-style gardens.
Summer Gardens on Fly the Northwest.
There's not much like it in the Northwest.
Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
Next live.
He's one of our favorite sharks in the tank.
Damon John from Shark Tank.
I think we'd like to go with your offer.
Oh! Plus, your AI questions answered.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and take you on a zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast. We start off in Kittitas County. The high is going to be in the mid-60s up towards the pass, mid-80s in Ellensburg, 90 for Vantage, and the peak gusts out of the north and west around 45 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley. So going to be a very windy day. Then in the Yakima Valley, these winds only peak gusts, the gusts peaking around 20 to 25 miles per hour. High temperatures getting into the upper 80s, and we'll have mostly sunny skies. In the lower Columbia Basin, also mostly sunny to partly cloudy. Highs likely getting into the low 90s in the Tri-Cities, and these peak gusts mostly out of the west between 20 to 30, 35 miles per hour. Then for the Blue Foothills, the Morrow County foothills is going to be in the low 80s. The foothills of Umatilla and Walla Walla counties mid to upper 80s, 60s and 70s for the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains. Also mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. It's going to be very windy in the Blue Foothills of Morrow County. Peak gusts out of the north and west around 40 miles per hour. Okay, here is today's vegetation dryness forecast. Remember, the vegetation dryness level is adjusted for the typical dryness per microclimate. We're going to have critical dryness today in the Cascades in the upper Yakima Basin, in the Kittitas Valley, the Yakima Valley, the lower Columbia Basin, and for the Blue Foothills, even an elevated level of dryness for that other chunk of the Cascades in the lower Yakima Basin, and also for the Blue Mountains. So this combined with the winds, combined with the dry air, fires could start or spread quickly for today, and I'll underscore just how strong the winds are going to be, not just for today, but also for Wednesday. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thanks, Josh. 6:40 now, and taking a look at local living with more people moving to the Tri-Cities and the hot weather also kicking in. A lot of people might think it is tempting to cool off in a local canal.
But Apple Valley News Now's William Albert shows us why officials with the Kennewick Irrigation District are warning people to not do that and stay out of the water.
The Kennewick Irrigation District is urging the public to avoid swimming in local canals, saying it's not only irresponsible, but dangerous. The water flowing through the canal system, which supports irrigation for areas like Kennewick, Findlay, and South Richland, comes from the Yakima River. And while it might look refreshing on a hot day, officials say the risks far outweigh any benefits.
According to the Kennewick Irrigation District, canals are not safe to swim in. For one, they are a dangerous drowning hazard, and two, they are frequently treated with chemicals.
It is raw Yakima River water. It's also treated with chemicals, and we treat it with chemicals because we don't want the algae to pile up on the sides. That could clog our filters, that can clog our screens, that can clog your filters.
Berglund says that fast-moving water and low visibility make the canal a serious drowning risk, even for strong swimmers.
They did a study one time where they dropped a shoe in the canal. Within 30 seconds, it was already a quarter mile away. So we want people to be aware of that the water is dark.
He also says it's not just swimmers getting in trouble. Cars are sometimes pulled from the canal after crashing in.
Say at least once a year, a car or two will happen to drive into the canals and get stuck. And that time, usually the authorities come. You have to escort them out, and then obviously tow trucks have to pull the cars out too. It can cause damage to the canals, which will also have to be repaired.
To help spread the word, the district is offering free presentations for schools and other groups, especially aimed at younger audiences.
We offer a presentation that we can do in schools or other programs where we come in and talk about canal safety. We have a fun presentation board about some of the objects that we do find in the canal system.
While the Kennewick Irrigation District understands people want to cool off this summer, they say it shouldn't come at the expense of your safety. In Kennewick, William Albert, Apple Valley News Now.
And if you're looking for safe and fun ways to cool off the summer, just head to our website. That's applevalleynewsnow.com. Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, we've got your morning sprint, everything you need to know before you head out the door. And Josh will be back with your full First Alert weather forecast. Keep it right here. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Welcome to Walker's Furniture's 45th anniversary sale, where we're celebrating by offering savings up to 45% off.
Or get no interest financing for up to 5 years.
This week at Walker's.
I felt like there was just no answers to get out of the anxiety and the depression that I had.
I was suicidal all the time, thinking about it nonstop, every day, every moment.
Depression and anxiety rob millions of us of our day-to-day lives, but nothing seems to pull you out of it. Introducing Neurostim TMS, Washington's leading provider of transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS therapy. At Neurostim TMS, we treat the root of the problem with a series of short daily treatments. Using a non-invasive magnetic field, TMS activates the natural function of the brain's neurotransmitters to improve mood and regulate emotion. TMS is not shock therapy. It's an FDA-approved, easy outpatient experience and covered by all major medical insurances.
There's nothing better than just being able to enjoy life again.
The treatment just completely, fundamentally changed my life.
Visit neurostimtms.com today or call to schedule your free consultation at any of our 12 Washington state locations.
Like most people, my days are nonstop. When I'm working, I need to stay focused. I'm not worried about my finances. That's why I went looking for a bank that makes managing my money effortless. Apple was exactly what I needed. Helpful people with easy-to-use tools. Now, I spend less time stressing about money and more time doing the things I enjoy. Where do you credit union?
Bathfitter showers have got people talking. Our wide selection of showers means it's exactly what we wanted. Seamless and watertight walls are much easier to clean than tiles and grout. And they stay in excellent shape. Every Bathfitter shower is backed by a lifetime warranty. And with thousands of 5-star reviews, the experience exceeds expectations. It's no wonder millions of Bathfitter customers love their new shower. It just fits. Go to bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
Visit your Yakima and Tri-Cities Cadillac dealer today.
It's Walker's Furniture's 45th anniversary sale, where you can buy like friends and family with savings up to 45% off.
Or get no interest financing for up to 5 years.
It's a great time to save at Walker's.
An amazing garden on Fly the Northwest, Tuesday at 6. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. The big weather story for today going to be the winds, especially in the Kittitas Valley. Those peak gusts out of the north and west around 50 miles per hour. The peak time frame going to be from 2 p.m. to 2 in the morning on Tuesday. So just know it could be breezy or windy before that time frame, but that's going to be the worst of the worst. Otherwise, today we'll have mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. High temperature is going to be about 5 to 10 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. That means 80s and 90s for lower elevations, 60s up in the Cascades, and 60s and 70s up in the Blues. For tonight, could have some light haze downwind of that fire by the Dalles, but downwind of that into Morrow County, Umatilla County, and Walla Walla County. I'm not expecting any big-time reductions to air quality. We'll keep a close eye on it. But otherwise, mostly clear skies. Overnight lows mostly just down into the 50s for lower elevations, and then 30s and 40s up in the Cascades, 40s for the Blues. Okay, we'll have another round of winds for tomorrow, 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. going to be the peak time frame. But peak gusts just up around 35 miles per hour this time in the Kittitas Valley. So consider that a bit of a break because we are going to ramp things back up for Wednesday. 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. peak gusts once again out of the north and west around 50 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley. And the reason why winds are going to be picking up for Wednesday, that's because we'll have mostly dry cold front. That's going to knock our high temperatures down into Thursday, and then another cold front Friday into Saturday. So we'll trend much cooler as we head into this weekend, but not just much cooler, wetter as well. We'll have a little shower chances for the foothills and mountains on Friday, but Saturday not looking like it's going to be a washout, but certainly some outdoor plans could be impacted. There's even a chance for some thunderstorms primarily in the Blue Mountains. Sunday going to be a much drier day, but for all those days that feature the wind gusts, per usual around this time of the year, we'll track for the potential of fire starts very closely. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. A windy day on Wednesday that'll cool us off into Thursday, then even cooler and slightly wetter into the weekend. In Yakima, near 90 today, but struggling to make it out of the 60s by Saturday, so quite the flip there. In Ellensburg, strong winds today, Wednesday, and Friday. Thankfully, fire fuels could get some relief with rainfall possible this weekend. In Hermiston, also continuing with some stronger winds Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Decent rain chances Saturday, less so Sunday. Then for Walla Walla, 80s through Thursday, mid-70s on Friday, then maybe dipping into the 60s this weekend with rain likely on Saturday. Now let's head out to New York City to see what's ahead on Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, the wait is almost over. Good Morning America is about to unveil its brand new state-of-the-art studio in the heart of downtown Manhattan.
I'm looking for directions. Can you help me find my dressing room?
Just more Consuelo. You'll get a tour of the neighborhood, including, that's right, the Ghostbusters Firehouse.
We got one! Can I go down the vault?
You cannot come down this vault.
Man!
And Lara Spencer and Sam Champion are taking over the new building.
You feel like you're part of something bigger.
Yes.
You know, and we are part of something bigger. You know, Disney Plus, Hulu, Good Morning America, World News Tonight, ESPN, everybody's in the building. And you kind of like feed off of the creative juices that are flowing.
The next big chapter of Good Morning America is kicking off at 7 a.m. with your GMA First Look. I'm Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
My generalized myasthenia gravis was unpredictable and limited what I could do. But Ultomiris is continuous symptom control with improvement in activities of daily living. It is reduced muscle weakness. And Ultomiris is the only long-acting GMG treatment with the freedom of just 6 to 7 infusions per year for a predictable routine I can count on.
Ultomiris may lower your immune system's ability to fight infections, increasing your chance of serious meningococcal and other infections which may become life-threatening or fatal. Complete or update meningococcal vaccines at least 2 weeks before you start. If treatment is urgent and you're not vaccinated, you should receive antibiotics with your vaccines. Don't start if you have a meningococcal infection. Infusion reactions may include back, belly, limb, or chest pain, muscle spasms, blood pressure changes, tiredness, shaking chills, bad taste, breathing problems, or face, tongue, or throat swelling. Ultomiris is continuous symptom control. Talk to your neurologist today.
Now, the Morning Sprint.
Time is 6:50. It's time for your morning sprint. We want to start off with your national headlines. President Trump has ordered ICE agents to do everything in their power to carry out the single largest mass deportation program in history. The president made that announcement on social media yesterday as he traveled to Canada for the G7 summit. The president also ordered ICE to expand its efforts in what he called the Democratic Power Center, cities such as Los Angeles, Chicago, and New York, where Trump said millions and millions of illegal immigrants live. The president's call to action comes a day after the nationwide No Kings protest, with demonstrations held in more than 2,000 cities and towns across the U.S.
And at 6:51 in your business headlines this morning, officials are saying hackers have tried to break into the email accounts of some Washington Post journalists. A memo explaining the newspaper discovered the targeted hack Thursday. The paper then reset all the login credentials for all its employees. The Post is investigating, but says only a limited number of journalists' accounts were breached. It's unclear, though, who's responsible for the hack.
In your health headlines this morning, the Vita Warehouse Corporation is voluntarily recalling some vitamin B12 gummy products, and the reason is the potential presence of undeclared peanuts. The company issued an allergy alert for products sold under the brands Welby, Berkeley Jensen, and Vita Globe. The recall covers one lot of the gummy products for the 3 brands, and they were distributed at Aldi and BJ's retail stores both nationwide and online. No illnesses or allergic reactions have been reported, but anyone who has it is urged to throw it away or return it for a full refund. Also, none of the 3 brands' other products are affected.
In your sports headlines this morning at 6:52, it was a special celebration in Chicago on Saturday to honor the city's native son, Pope Leo XIV. The Pope himself appearing via video from the Vatican City to deliver a message to tens of thousands of people, all gathering for an afternoon mass. It was held at Rate Field, home to the Chicago White Sox, which happens to be the Pope's favorite baseball team. Part of the Pope's message was aimed at America's youth. Mass included music, film presentations, in-person testimonials, prayers, and communion was offered, with many people in attendance receiving that right there on the field. 6:53, and here are the top 5 local things that you need to know this morning. Authorities urging the public to stay alert as they are seeing an increase in drug-related and impaired driving incidents. This one that you're taking a look at on your screen right now was in Kennewick, happened just last night after 9. Officers found that Chevy Camaro off the road and in the bank near the Columbia River. The driver, 21-year-old Shannon Norris, was arrested for DUI. Thankfully, no serious injuries reported.
And 2 adults have been arrested for child endangerment after deputies found a 7-year-old living in a disabled truck surrounded by drugs. Authorities say both adults admitted to actively using narcotics and said the child had been exposed to it regularly. The child is now in protective custody in Richland.
And all of this as authorities are sounding the alarm on fentanyl, which they say is becoming far more common in parks and neighborhoods. The potent drug is often disguised as small blue pills or even a white powder. It can be deadly in even just the smallest amount.
Around 5,000 people gathered in Kennewick over the weekend for the No Kings protest, and this is part of the nationwide movement calling attention to many issues like immigration enforcement and healthcare concerns. Organizers say the crowd remained peaceful throughout the event.
And a heads up if you are driving this week through Walla Walla, there's some street closures underway across the area for paving and utility work. Chase Street, Poplar, and portions of Artesia Avenue and Kenwood Street will all be impacted. Be sure to check local detours before heading out. Work is getting started at 7 o'clock this morning, just in a couple minutes.
Trending this morning, we're taking a look at a tiny sea creature who's making some big waves for science.
Okay, that's right. Take a look. It's a itty-bitty salamander, and it might be the secret to one of medicine's most exciting possibilities, regrowing limbs.
Meet the, am I saying this right, axolotl?
It's an axolotl!
So. There we go, there we go. You've probably seen them a time or two as they have gained popularity over the last few years, but did you know it can regrow entire limbs? And now scientists are getting closer to understanding how.
A new study from Northeastern University found that a compound called retinoic acid, which is actually used in acne treatments, plays a key role. It helps these creatures' cells figure out exactly what needs to grow back.
Researchers also discovered an enzyme that keeps that acid in check, and it makes sure that the process stays balanced. Axolotls.
It makes it sound like regrowing limbs and figuring that out could be easy. I mean, I doubt like it could, easy transfer. Not easy, but like it sounds like it would transfer over to humans, but no, most likely not.
Most likely not.
But it's just so interesting. Like they made it sound so simple.
I know.
Huh.
I had no idea what an axolotl was until just like
it sounds like a car.
Months ago.
Some sort of vehicle. That's what it sounds like.
I often wonder, like, what kind of inventions, what kind of breakthroughs am I going to see during my lifetime? And I think by the, as I'm on my deathbed, maybe there will be like...
Maybe you'll be regrowing a limb?
Maybe not me, but someone else be regrowing a limb. Yeah, that would be cool.
Because with skincare, when they do like microneedling, that's like urging your skin to regrow.
Yeah.
So, I love that.
Science. It's
Science.
Wild.
Cool. Science rules.
It sure does. I told our daughter that we should get an axolotl. I told her that a couple weeks ago.
One now. Yeah, they're cute.
I know. They make pink ones.
See, that's why. Yeah.
I know.
All right, Josh, how's it looking outside?
It is looking calm for now, but the wind's going to be picking up a little bit later in the day. Let's go ahead, take graphics full. Yeah, so not much doing with the winds right now after 2 p.m., though. They're certainly going to ramp up. We can see peak gust around 50 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley. So right now, temperatures 40s and 50s for lower elevations, 40s up in the Cascades, 50s in the Blues. Later today, high temperatures between 85 to 90 for lower elevations, so that'll place us at about 5 to 10 degrees warmer than normal for this time of the year. And with some of those wind gusts, of course, we could see the potential of fire starting or spreading quickly, not just for today, but also for Wednesday, Friday, multiple rounds of very windy weather for this weekend. But that does come with an upside. The wind's picking up because of cold fronts that are going to pass throughout the week. That means we're going to be much cooler this weekend, down into the 70s for the lower Columbia Basin. But not just cooler as we head into the weekend, also wetter. Shower and thunderstorm chances going up, especially for Saturday, a little bit drier on Sunday.
70s on the way. I like the sound of that.
Yes.
Thank you guys for watching Good Morning Northwest. You can always find updates on our website. That's applevalleynewsnow.com.
Good Morning America's up next, and we will be back with your local news and weather tonight at 5.
Have a great day.